are. As you guys can plainly see, I am sitting here today with this 2015 Yamaha FZ-07. We'll start by going over all the specs, all the modifications done to it, and then we will take her out on the road and twist the throttle a whole bunch. We'll do a brake test, an acceleration test, all that fun stuff, and we'll see how we like it. So for starters, we have a 689cc, 270 degree crank, parallel twin, making 75 horsepower and 50.2 pounds of torque. Now, I'm very aware that that doesn't sound like a whole lot of torque, but in a bike this small and for where it makes its torque, which is everywhere, it should do quite well. And we will see about that. I am very much looking forward to riding this bike. I know they're a lot of fun. I've only ridden one before, so I'm pretty stoked. This FZ-07 also features a 6-speed transmission, and it also has a claimed wet weight of 397 pounds, which is pretty respectable. It's not too bad. It has a 31.7-inch seat height, so, you know, not too bad. Most people should be able to ride this bike unless they're quite vertically challenged. We have 41mm conventional front forks that are non-adjustable, made by KYB. I've heard this is about the only complaint that a lot of people have about the early generation FZ-07, and it might still be a problem today, I don't really know. That the suspension isn't that great. As you can see, it has an LED headlight. We'll go over the modifications here in a minute, but obviously turn signals are included in that. The FZ-07 has dual 282mm disc brakes up in the front, as well as Yamaha brand 4-pot calipers. They're not radial mounted. I don't really think they're anything that special, but they do the job. This bike also didn't come with a lot of features from the factory, so it doesn't have ABS, it doesn't have any kind of rider aids, nothing like that, which I would like to say I prefer it that way, but I mean, I'm not that good, so I should probably have the rider aids, but that's why they could make this bike so cheap when it was new. The FZ-07 has an LCD dash, and the fuel tank has a 3.7 gallon capacity. And with a claimed 58 mpg, you should be able to get a little over 200 miles to the tank on the FZ-07, which is quite impressive for, you know, most bikes, honestly. My SMT 990 will only do about 150 miles before I really need to start looking for a fuel station. So while we're right here talking about the fuel tank, I will also point out that this is the liquid graphite color that was offered in 2015. And while we're talking about color, if you go and look at all the colors that were offered in 2015, I think it was red, graphite, this graphite color here, and I want to say white. I'll put it up on the screen what the other color option was. This is clearly the best option. I mean, look at it. The colors are awesome. That graphite gray with the blue accents and the blue wheels. The blue wheels really, really make this bike. I think it looks wonderful from a color standpoint anyway. I think the headlight could have been done a little different. Or maybe it's above the headlight I don't really like. I'm not really sure. It's not a bad looking bike. I just, you know, I like the color choices. We'll say that. We have a 245mm single disc and a single pot caliper made by Nissan in the back. And the rear suspension is preload adjustable only. We have a 120/70/17 in the front. And the tires on the rear are 180/55/17s. Brand new in 2015, this bike was $6,990, which was a deal for everything you're getting. This is a great bike for that amount of money. I think the value's quite high on there. In today's market, in 2024 monies, this bike will run anywhere between $4,500 to $6,000. So they obviously hold their value very, very well. Let's talk about the mods to this bike. So the modifications that this owner has done are TST turn signals, Amazon levers, which, you know, Amazon aren't my favorite, but these are actually a decent example of them. Crash protection, made by Woodcraft. They look really good. I wish the color matched a little better, but I don't think they look bad. Crash protection is crash protection. I enjoy crash protection. I want that added protection. And a M4 full exhaust, which will probably sound pretty good because this CP2 engine by Yamaha has a 270-degree crank. While we are talking about the CP2 engine made by Yamaha that has a 270-degree crank, it is my opinion that this is the bike that started the 270-degree crank parallel twin craze. Everybody loves these things. They're in everything. They're in KTMs now. They're in frickin' everything. They're in Ducatis. Everybody's using the 270-degree crank parallel twin nowadays. I will, however, point out that KTM does not use a 270-degree crank. KTM uses a 285-degree crank to more simulate their 75-degree V-twins that they made in the past, i.e. my 990 SMT, which is a 75-degree V-twin. You guys down in the comments, let me know what you think about 270-degree crank parallel twins, as well as let me know how you feel about the FZ-07 in general. Well, I think the only thing left to do is get on the bike, see how it feels. We'll go for a rip. Now that we're sitting on the bike, my initial impression, the very first thing I think of, is how narrow these handlebars are. Good Lord. They feel so narrow and close together. We'll see how that feels out on the road, but you know, as of right now, I would probably put something a little wider, maybe some Pro Tape or something like that on here. Otherwise, sitting here in the saddle, the seat is very, very wide, and as we all know by now, hopefully, all 5 of you, that I am 6 feet tall. I am a world-renowned 255 awesome pounds, and I have a 32-inch inseam. So, that being said, with this 31.7-inch seat height, when I'm just sitting here, it's extremely comfortable. I have plenty of room to move around. It is certainly not too tall, but it's also certainly not too short either. Like, this fits me pretty well. I can already tell you the suspension is probably a little too soft for me because of my weight, but that is the general complaint about this bike anyway, is that the suspension isn't so good. Other than that, I love the color. I like this bit right here that kind of looks almost like faux carbon fiber. Looks pretty good. I think it's cool. So as I stated before, it has an LCD dash, so let's go ahead and start that right up. I like the key position, by the way. Being over here, it's easy to get to. It's kind of out of the way. I like it. So you can see the LCD dash right here. You got your engine temperature, gas gauge, gear indicator, which is a thumbs up in my book, and the infamous slide bar RPM gauge, which I should probably stop bitching about because clearly it's not going away anytime soon. So what we'll do is let's start the sucker up and we'll see how she sounds. So let's do that. That sounds pretty good. Let's check it out. These 270 and 285 degree cranks in these parallel twins, they just sound so good. I mean, it's really hard to compete with that nowadays, with any other engine configuration anyway. The 180 degree cranks in some of the parallel twins that are still going nowadays, they sound outdated and they sound a little boring. This, however, has got a little bark, a little personality, a little to it, you know? So you want to ride it and you'll want to own it and you'll want everybody to hear it. So check it out. The baffle's loose in there. You can see it's got this to stop it, but you see that? That's pretty funny. Anyway, it sounds good. So, woo, yeah. Daddy like. Let's get out on the road and see how we like it there, shall we? So, I can tell you right off the go, this thing is light, and very nimble feeling. You can definitely tell that this was a bike that was, you know, if it's not intended for just hooning around, which I'm sure 98% of people who ride this bike do, it would also do very, very well in a city landscape. So I think it would do that very, very well because it's so light and nimble. Weave in and out of things, do anything you need to do, and I guarantee you this bike would happily do that. Hey, hello? Hey. I'm riding a motorcycle. What's up? Okay, let me call you back in a little bit. Yeah, sure. Okay, bye. So the clutch is a little, you have to pull it out a little too much before it engages for my liking, but I'll get used to that. Goddamn turn signals, I forget every time! Alright, we are approaching the curvy section, as we all know and love. So we'll see what she can do, see how it feels. See how much I'm going to hate the suspension with my big old booty. As we all know, we got to pay our respects, all hallelujah, all that stuff. And let's get into this curvy section. Oh yeah, this thing is light and playful, buddy. Yes. Oh, it likes this. I don't know if it likes it as much as I do, but it likes it. Woo! Yeah. All right. Let's go. So, obviously it liked that twisty section. Let's try this one. On this thing. Oh man. Oh baby. Daddy like. Bikes that have good torque are absolutely phenomenal on the street. They are so much fun. And this bike is absolutely no exception. I can certainly see why people use this bike as the bike of choice for stunt riding, because wheeling this bike is ridiculously easy because it's so lightweight and has so much torque everywhere in the RPM range. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I do wish there were rear view mirrors on it though. Cam Tram, I'm gonna need you to do something about this no mirror situation here, bud. they absolutely opened Pandora's box when it came to the cross-plane engine. They actually released the cross-plane engine in the mid-90s, but it didn't really become very popular until they put it in their big 4-cylinder bike, the R1, the infamous R1, in 2009. And then when they released this bike, I really think is when the cross-plane started taking off. At least in my mind, maybe I'm wrong. Put in the comments if you think I am wrong, because I might be. I'm wrong all the freaking time, because I'm a human and I'm a freaking numbnuts. Ooh, brother, ooh. That back brake does not feel very good. Is it just adjusted improperly, or is it just mushy as hell? It does not feel great. Front brakes don't feel bad though. I mean, from what I hear, they're not supposedly too great. All right, we're gonna give it some beans and kind of back off when we think we're breaking too much over the law. So 75 horsepower, as you can plainly see, is no slouch. She gets up and moves. I think the Rebel 1100 might have it by a little bit, but honestly that might be because of the DCT. Allows it to change instantaneously, and that bike feels like it rumbles, buddy. I mean, this one does too, absolutely, don't get me wrong. And it's a whole hell of a lot of fun. I really wish I had rear view mirrors. Alright, we're about to hit the highway, which means it is about time to start talking about this dash. Obviously, I love the gear indicator. We all know I love a gear indicator. Just because it's nice to have. It's nice to be able to look down and go, oh cool, I'm in 4th, you know? Let me put it up in 5th or 6th or whatever. So you can see the RPM flashing like that. I'm not a huge fan. That's just why I'm not a huge fan of these digital dashes that are a slide bar. They're just, I don't like them.
Biscuits. Buttermilk.
A nice big fuel gauge that I can actually see. A friend of mine will get that joke. Nice big speedometer there, which I appreciate. So overall, other than the fact that I don't like the slide bar there, otherwise I like this dash quite a bit. It's not too cluttered. It has all the information I need. Even has a little clock there, which is dope. So yeah, I approve of that. Let's see how we would like this on a long highway trip. I'm expecting not very much because there is no windscreen, and we all know I am a huge windscreen whore. Give me all the windscreens, and this one doesn't have one because it's a naked bike, which is cool for around town and stuff. Highway, we'll see. Let's see how this feels. Quite good, quite good. I'm not going to push it too hard. And let's see what it does. Not bad, not bad. But, oh my God, all the wind. Even though I'm getting all the wind, I don't feel like I'm working the bike too hard at highway speed. I feel like it's not hating me so much right now as some other bikes that I've ridden. But oh my God, it's so windy. But it's a naked bike, so that's what you can freaking expect. I would really love a freaking rear view freaking mirror though. In terms of comfort, this is a very wide, pretty comfortable seat. On the seat alone, I could see me doing quite good many hours on this bike. Not with this much wind hitting me in the face, but the seat is very comfortable. not like ultra comfortable, but it's not bad. I can definitely sit here for a good long time. The rider triangle is also quite comfortable. I could stand for my hands being a little higher. Maybe that would go along with me wanting to put other bars on this if it were my bike. But other than that, where my feet are, where my ass is, where, you know, how far I'm leaned over, all that stuff feels quite good for a naked sport bike. I like it. Let's give it a little bit and see if we can pass. Okay, so it's not bad, but it's not like amazing in 6th gear anyway. Let's try downshifting and doing it. Better for sure. Just making a whole lot of noise. On the topic of noise, this bike sounds fantastic. You want to go, bro? I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that. And the fueling is so good on this bike that just cruising, like, it makes it easy on you. So just cruising, you give it a little bit of throttle, it doesn't jerk you, it doesn't make you feel any which way. It's easy. They did a very good job on the fueling on this motorcycle. I am very jealous. If the fueling was this good on my SMT 990, I would be a very, very happy camper. A little bit of a too easy. Very much fun. The torque on this light, tiny bike is so much fun. Oh my god. Really, dog? People love just pulling out right in front of me. Let's get to our ranking system. It's about that time. So, aesthetically, I have to give this bike a 5. I mean, I love the color choices. Other than that, it kind of looks pretty bland and meh as far as I'm concerned. I think the MT-07s look quite a bit better. So we'll go with 5. Versatility, I think this bike's quite versatile. You know, I wish it had a little bit more highway prowess. I wish it had a Marriott of highway capability, maybe a windscreen, but other than that, it's very versatile. It can do street very good, it can do city very good. I've even seen people put freaking dirt tires on this thing and take it out off-road. So, for that reason, I'm going to give it a 7. 7 for versatility. Fun factor. Oh my god, is this bike fun. It's going to have to get an 8. It has to. We'll go with value. Value for how much money you can get this bike for. You get this bike for $45 to $5 grand. Put a sweet windscreen on it. A big, nice touring windscreen. And some bags. And, like, you can do anything with this bike. And then you can start, you know, modifying it. Put better brakes on it. Put better suspension on it. Take it to the track. You can literally do anything with it with an FZ or MT-07. So for that, for value, I think I'll have to I'll give it a 7.5 for value. My overall score, I'll also have to give it a 7 because it's so much fun, and that is a big thing on me, is just straight up fun factor. I love fun bikes. So I'm going to give it a 7. So who would I recommend this bike to? Freaking anyone could ride this bike and have a fun time. I mean, like, people who know how to ride a motorcycle aren't really beginners, but are essentially beginners. This is a perfect motorcycle for. As well as, I mean, obviously people who do MT-07 things and FZ-07 things, and you know what I'm talking about. But anyone, I would say anyone can hop on this and have a wonderful time. Alright, how about a acceleration and braking? Can I do it? Alright. 3, 2, 1, go. Whoa! Oh!
brakes are not wonderful. They make me hop all over the place, and it's really hard to get a good 0 to 60 because it just wants to freaking wheelie. Comment down below if you've ridden an FZ-07 or MT-07. This is 2024, and let me know what you thought of it. Did you have fun? Did you love it? Did you hate it? You know, am I wrong? Do I suck? Whatever, I don't care. Just let me know down below. To all 5 of you that watch, arrivederci. Peace out. Okay, bye.